glue and gold. Okay.
Oh. Ooh, Hylos Valier.
Hylos Valier. Very well.
Crazy. Yeah. Tough pokes might be somewhat tough for the Valentina and the Kalea.
Yeah.
Well, it depends a lot on Haji and how he handles the exchange against the Valier.
Now, we're left with the options dito para i-flap. There is the Benedetta, Esmeralda, least of my friends. But it is good versus the Paquito, tas may shields din yung Harit. So siguro yun. However, I don't like the odds for Esmeralda up against the...
Maybe this will work out better for them, but I don't know. The Esmeralda, I have to feel the same way, man. I don't know how this is going to work out for them. And this is interesting, too. The Valier comes through for Super Prince.
Yeah. Okay, that's the sigh.
The sigh of what Midnight's thinking.
Yeah, so this is Grandma Gears, right? So Wolf and Remar went with ONIC, and they sort of like, you know, said, okay, maybe this is a good point for our Team Falcons. I'm gonna be the opposite, okay? I'm a mauled on stream.
Okay, you can mauled, man.
I don't like this come from Team Falcons. They pulled out Kalea and Valentina again, and then now they put Esme as the answer against Paquito and Harit, which is nice. But you're up against a Valier and a Hylos. These two can peel like crazy.
Yep.
Whoa, Ogren, not again.
Not again. This is very similar to what happened in game number 1. But at least it doesn't convert into a casualty.
Yes, because if that was the first blood, then I would be a little worried for the same early game situation in the last one. This is better, though. I'm wondering, though, because picking your gears here, Midnight, since they're grinding.
Okay. Let me oil up.
Is there...
What?
Not too much. Is there a way that this could work, though, for Team Falcons, even though it hasn't changed too much?
There is, but this Suyo has to overperform to the point where he can slow the game down and Super Marco gets F1, that this Valier and Hylos becomes a non-problem. But my biggest worry is that even in fights, like let's say you have a lot of items for Team Falcons, the heroes on the side of ONIC have a lot of utilities. They don't even have to deal damage. They just have to control heroes and then let the Leomord and then Harit take over the team fights.
Yeah, and I think something we saw previously too, the way that Kirk can just choose to not be as active when it comes to the team fights first and just constantly keep the pressure along the sides. And that'll maybe make Team Falcons a bit more hesitant to just go for whatever they want. But Brusco's already pretty low, but that's going to be a bait after all, forcing out the flicker from Ogwen. Now ONIC have found themselves in position for the objective alongside a first blood from King Kong.
I'm surprised he was able to go ahead and get that. Haji looking for his own, though.
Okay, Flap will find Brusco. Could they punish Flap? They might not have enough answers just yet. Falcons win Turtle number 1.
It's kind of expected for Team Falcons. Good in fourth. Almost took out Super Friends, but at least Team Falcons, they do take first turtle. They do have Prio, however. That's sort of expected from their lineup, but ONIC, they've managed to somehow find a trade, force the flicker on Ogwen, took a kill for King Kong, and they also forced the sprint on Flam. So overall, ONIC is in a very good positioning, considering that they just have to wait for mid-game, wait for the Leomord and the Harit timing, power spike in the mid-game.
Yeah, this is I don't want to say a much better start, but a better start for Team Falcons anyway, at least. You know, you get yourself in a situation where you got the first turtle in your hands, you got the first blood over to Flap, and the Esmeralda could be a way to make this work better against, like what we're talking about, all the shields that have come through for ONIC. I think one of the other interesting caveats to this lineup for Team Falcons is Haji. Again, anytime the Valentina's in play, you're sitting here wondering, you know, what's the best course of action of ultimate that you want to go ahead and take. You do see this a lot, though. When a Leomord is across from you, you're going to have your own Phantom Steed. You're gonna ride in and make that happen. But he could also take a couple other ultimates here and take them and utilize them in these team fights.
Yeah, and it's just very fitting for Haji to use that, if not him being the guy to really introduce this kind of approach to using the Valentina whenever it's up against the Leomord. So at least they're really keeping things in place for now. But let's see.
Oh, mid lane. Are they going to go for this? Okay.
Ooh, ouch. Ouch. Ouchie.
Okay.
Yeah, good little stop there.
This is my concern with the draft of Team Falcons, right? Like, yeah, sure, for the first 3 neutral objectives of the game, first turtle, maybe you find good angles to force fights. But when it comes down to actual map play, where teams are sort of like looking for team fight setups, right? How do you fight into ONIC? They don't have enough of decent front lining, especially for Team Falcons, because they don't have tank in the front line.
They need that tank in the front line, man.
It's just an Esmeralda.
Yes.
Right? And then the Esme gets countered by the Valier and the Hylos.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what angles they play around with this time. Brusco gets poked down to half HP. And that's all the time they needed just to secure the objective. Now he gets brought back in with the Tsunami Slam. ONIC still want to go for the fight. Third fight is going in as well. With the Blazing Duet coming in from Super Marco. Might just be enough. They sort of caught up whatever ONIC wanted to do. And Flap fights more. Haji picks up the kill on Brusco. And even under the turret, Falcons are going to go in. It's going to be a wipeout for ONIC.
I think they felt how game one felt for Team Falcons, and they come in making it work. I don't know, Midnight, that looked like kind of a tank in the front line to me.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Team Falcons, the answer is not tank in the front line, but 5 people in the front line. We
5 dudes.
We don't play front to back, bro. We play back to back.
Back to back. And they got a dancer in the front leading them, man, basically.
Yeah.
Like this is not what you expect this early on, where it's a team wipeout for ONIC.
Yeah, they thought they could play it slow with the Zaman Force. They had it just focusing on the Esmeralda, but then they were surprised they were caught off guard because Supermarket just flickered in with a Blazing Duet.
Yeah, I'm sort of starting to see a bit of a similarity in terms of what problems Falcons had with the Alice earlier on, but now with the Esmeralda, especially now that we've arrived at this point where they're 3K up and Flaps 3-0-2.
Yep.
So they're in a very identical spot as to what they've been through in game number 1.
Oh, okay. This is the other thing though too. Flap is just so tanky, but
Yeah, look at that.
even at some point, the itemization that ONIC can get here on this type of composition, is it going to be enough to deal with Flap feeling unkillable right now?
Well, it does come down to that point. Whoa.
Whoa.
What?
Okay, 2 people get stunned with the Falling Star Moon, but Kai will not commit the fight.
Yeah, so the question earlier was, will they have enough like itemizations to deal with the Esmeralda? I think it does come down to that point where late game is still a problem for Team Falcons, even though you have a Claude that can just scale up. Team fighting is a bit of a stretch for them because again they have to like sort of deal with this utilities coming out from ONIC, but with this amount of lead, I think Team Falcons is at a very good position to just take over the game because again this Claude is just scaling. Imagine the late game came way too sooner than ONIC expected.
Yeah, they built up Golden Staff locked in now too for Supermarket. You'd see how much gold has been able to go ahead and go in the hands of Team Falcons here just on the nature of that last team fight and what it's pretty much built for them and momentum in the game too. So that's the thing. If they don't want to lose this and then give a chance to ONIC to kind of scale up in the late game, they've got to go ahead and cap it out while they have this lead.
Yeah. And I think Ogun can afford to just really be more proactive right now with the use of the Kalea, since they pretty much have much better map control now. They even got a turret just now, potentially even 2 more, because ONIC are just trading out this tier 1 down bottom. So this will help them a lot, really push the limits of what their lineup is capable of doing.
Yeah, because the thing is they... Oh, wait.
Oh, going for Flap.
Oh, if this is going to be a shutdown, I don't know anymore. King Kong, of all people, gets that kill.
Yeah. But it's fine though, they took the top tower. Team Falcons, again, they're playing the map. This is the point of the game where if you're Team Falcons, they're in a very luxurious position where they can just look to take trades. Because again, the idea for their lineup is just to let Super Marco scale up to the point where even if ONIC forces a team fight, even if they do have the kits to deal with the Esmeralda, this Claude is just too damn big to deal with.
Yeah, the Claude's going to be an issue, but I would say in ONIC's situation, if they're able to go ahead and get some of these pickoffs like that, kind of solo someone out, then that is the small steps for them. Ogren probably conceal. Kirk's going to spawn it out though, so Kirk is fine. Kirk can also play the long game. You know, he can go ahead and continue to put pressure on the sides of the map. They are doing that. Like, they're putting pressure where they can. Eventually, though, I feel like Team Falcons will just put them in this situation where it's like, you have to fight us, you know? And ONIC at this point is just waiting for that time to build up here. This Lord first being up, I don't know if this is one that they want to throw themselves at, because if they do have a devastating team fight again and get potentially wiped out, they could just be clearly a game for Team Falcons.
Yeah, I think if you're ONIC, you just have to just wait for the scale, wait for the utilities to be online on your side. I mean, they do have the utilities, but the problem is they don't have damage.
Yeah, you can't go for that one.
Yeah.
Better to let the First Lord go. Good push up top, though, from Kirk. This is what we were expecting him. to do, but mid lane.
Falcons actually want to fight still after that objective. Flap doesn't land the Falling Star Moon onto anyone, but it will be enough to get that tier 1 in mid.
Kirk.
That's probably all they wanted. Kirk though, he gets found out. Kyle and Haji force out the flicker.
Dude, did you see that knockout strike?
Yeah.
To dodge the blade surge from Kyle. Who does that?
Yeah.
Like, you would think Paquito would just use second skill, but the problem was he didn't have the second skill at that moment, so he had to improvise just to escape the clutches of the Suyo. But then, again, ONIC, you saw the amount of utility they had earlier. They're able to deal with the composition of Team Falcons, but now they have to defend Lord. This is a crucial Lord to defend. If ONIC can buy time, then maybe they get a better chance of fighting the next team fight against Team Falcons.
Yeah, you know, I see this 5,000 gold lead, which is the majority of that is in the jungle right now for Team Falcons. So ONIC across the board here isn't too far behind when it comes to lane, and that's why that threat, that potential threat of ONIC turning things around is still there. That's why I'm saying Team Falcons doesn't want to let this go on too long.
Yep.
They will take out the tier 2 turrets. They still have this first Lord jumping into the base here. They want to defend.
Okay, Glorious Pathway already laid down. The Lord gets taken care of by ONIC. Falcons are not forcing a fight just yet.
This Searing Torrent from Super Prince is annoying for Team Falcons. Like, how do you actually go in? Somebody has to suicide it. Even with the stolen Glorious Pathway for Haji, it still feels a bit awkward. So I feel like the biggest spike for Team Falcons for them to actually take a team fight convincingly is the winner crown from Super Marco.
Well, keep an eye on Ogren. 20 seconds for the flicker here. They're going to go ahead and assault the base anyway.
Oh, a slightly off angle. OG, Glorious Pathway.
Yeah, it's just keeping them on their toes, you know? Nonetheless, it's still, it's the lead for Team Falcons. They get some of the shields down to work with. They're clearly stronger in the team fight.
Yeah.
You're looking at the itemization here too. Severo, I'd say he's ready to fight. I mean, on the Harith, this is probably the best that he can do.
Look, Super Michael, he knows this as well. Like, the way to end this game is a winner crown. He's not even going for the prolific gun. They know that they have to force a team fight in the next, 3 minutes of this game. They cannot afford ONIC to buy time because, again, even if they don't have the infinite scaling composition, even if they don't have the same amount of damage that Team Falcons has, what they do have is insane amount of utility.
Yeah, that's the thing working against them. There's the winner crown. Because again, trying to get into the base here, even when let's just say we wait for this next Lord to potentially knock down some of the base turrets from ONIC, Super Prince is going to be a problem. And that's what's been the difficult part is every time you try to go in and engage on ONIC, the Searing Torrent, like Midnight mentioned, is such a pivotal part of that team fight. Divine Glaive here for Haji. Lord is going to be for the taking. Should be an easy take. ONIC's probably just going to let this go once again. Kirk will go ahead and push up top. Conceal was used from Mogwin.
No.
Yeah, he's going to threaten ONIC to not just go for the contest and instead use the Tsunami Slam onto Brusco. They're going to go and burst him down first. Fortunately, still has the Glorious Pathway
Kirk
though,
pushing.
and will escape as Kirk just works on the trades across the map.
Okay, they're playing the split game. They lose the Revitalized for it. They might lose the Paquito as well.
Kirk, you got to run. Maybe this is just a sacrifice.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
And he saw this coming.
Look at bot side. They're pushing out of waves.
Whoa.
They've dealt with the Lord waves. This is so damn genius for ONIC. Now, this maneuver, yes, you lose the Revitalize, you lose the Paquito. At most, you lose 40 seconds, but you buy 2 minutes worth of game time.
And that's all they have to do. This is the game plan of a team that is down 6,000 gold with this kind of composition and lineup. Team Falcons can still play into this, though. There's still potential for them to take down some of the base turrets here, but Kirk did work there. Immortality picked up here for Ogwin. Keep an eye on him as they get to the base. Lord is worked on.
Ogwin wants to find one, but the stun from Super Prince, popping his immortality and forcing out the flicker as well. They lose out on base turrets, but they stay in the game.
Yeah, Team Falcons, they wanted to force. Ogwin jumped on Super Prince, but he still had that ult, that pseudo-purify from the Valir. But Team Falcons knew they had to force, they had to do something, because now ONIC, again, gets to play for another 2 minutes of this game, and they get all their spells back, they get all the skills, and then they will allow Severo to farm up more on this Harith.
Again, it's all a matter of time for ONIC here. Malefic Roar picked up too. Biggest need of catch-up is obviously King Kong to be a little bit more I guess, durable on the Leo Lord, because if they do look to eventually go into an evolved Lord once that comes up to this point, they'll be in actual fighting form. There's going to be a situation where they can actually go ahead and throw themselves into a fight, but they only have one base turret too. So if Team Falcons wants to play, you know, the advantage of having the base turrets down, they can also go for that.
Yeah.
Super Marco's completely locked in here now that he's got the Malefic gun.
Luckily for Falcons, the Lord spawn bot side, so they do have that advantage top side. This Paquito is going to be running point on clearing that wave. So Team Falcons might just look to force a team fight during the Lord dances.
Yeah, they are positioning or somehow feeling like they are anticipating someone from ONIC to at least go up top first.
Yeah.
And that's something I also kind of noticed. Kirk has not been going away from the rest of the team as much anymore. Not at this point in the game where that decision could potentially get heavily punished.
Yeah, it's hard because, you know, Team Falcons, they've done a fantastic job of just housekeeping, wave management. So ONIC feels very awkward for them to actually step outside the base, especially that they don't see anything. So they pop the sentry. Now they see the S-Man top side. They saw the Kalea for a bit, moving towards mid. So now it's a go signal for them to clear the wave, and then maybe they go send Kirk top side.
Yeah, they might just replicate what they've done the past couple of Lords. This is going to be a quick one for Team Falcons. You can see that. ONIC. Oh, Kirk, is he going to swing around for the fight, or...?
Oh, Brusco.
Yeah, they were too quick to burst that objective. Brusco using the Revitalize, but the Tsunami Slam gets committed just to make sure that he goes down. Kirk too will have to disengage. ONIC lose one.
Bit of indecisiveness there from ONIC. The other members thought they were going to fight. Brusco committed with the Revitalize and the Glorious Pathway. Unfortunately, the Leomord couldn't reach with the Phantom Steed, so Falcons just took a free kill onto the Hylos.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, you know, maybe you just let this one go again, or maybe they just see what they can do defending in the base. They're going to have to deal with this last base turret being pushed down here. Team Falcons looking to cap it out.
Oh, great force on the flicker for Super Friends. Even popping the ultimate as well. So a lot of resources were already burned by the Super Fam. Severo doesn't have to use the Zaman Force just yet, but Falcons are already in the base. They don't want to fight. They just want to equalize the series.